Hey everyone, Matt from CRS Firearms here. I've been back home since early December 2025. Call it about a week. Now I'm still on house arrest, so I'm not free, but I am home now. Anyways, I saw this comment in my last video. It was talking about, hey, are you still mad about your sentence and how much time you got? And that's what we're going to be answering in today's video. Now, the most important thing you need to remember, if you forget everything else, is if you'd like to support this channel directly, the best way to do that is shop at Only Tactical Fans at Shopify.com, where you can purchase merchandise that directly supports the channel and helps us get through this YouTube demonetization, which is probably indefinite. We'll have to see how that pays out. So now, about my sentence of being angry, it did have a transition point. When I first got incarcerated, I was hot. Like, I was mad at everything and everyone and just completely upset. That all changed towards the end of my sentence. I had this cellie named Ryan, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Sharper's Attack, you guys are going to love him. I'm going to help him make a channel as soon as he gets out, and he's going to be getting out soon. Anyway, I kept bitching. I'm like, man, I should have got probation. Because I should have. Like, that's what the actual offense had called for. Because of the way I was charged and the nature behind the crime, like everything slipped through. I should have been at an offense level 11, which would have given me probation. Now, they calculated it wrong in my PSR, putting me at an 18. That's a whole video for another time. I'm going to have a lawyer explain that one to you. But yes, they did calculate it wrong. But even at an 18, it should have been 27 to 36 months. Or 33, I believe. Anyway, so why did I get 60 and why am I no longer mad at it? Well, on count one, the max you can get, so you have your counts, right? It's almost like an umbrella. You have count one at the top, and that's going to go over all the rest of the counts. So when they sentence you, it's basically based off of count one. There's some exceptions, but that's generally how it goes. So you're going to be going at count one, and then everything's going to run concurrent or consecutive. I forget which one's which. I always get confused. One of them is where each charge is run separately, and one of them is where you sit all the charges at once. And that's typically how it's going to go with these lesser crimes, unless it's like multiple homicides or something like that. Anyways, count one had a max of 5 years or 60 months. So why did I get that, and why am I no longer mad at it, and how did Ryan help me explain this? So I'm bitching. I'm like, oh man, they just run me through the ringer. I should have got probation. Worst case scenario, I should have got 27 months. And he's like, dude, just take a breath for a second and look at it. Look at it from the judge's seat for a second. You sold, on paper, like I get you did it. It was a bullshit charge. You're going to win your appeal. Everybody knows that. You know that. They know that. He knows that. He knows that. And he knows that. But look at it on paper. What was the judge looking at? On paper, you sold 6,600 unregistered machine guns. That is the most in modern American history. The closest to you is a couple hundred. I think it's like 200 or something like that. Yeah. You know what? It's some dark flex right there, but the point is, it's still 6,600 machine guns on paper. You are the biggest illegal arms dealer in modern American history, so why would you not get the max for that charge? And same with the severity level. Severity levels go 1 through 7. Why would you not get a 7 when no one else has done that severe of that crime? So, your severity level actually makes sense, and it actually makes sense for you to max out on that particular charge because you did the max. And that right there just like blew my mind, and it took my rage away. Because anger is like, it'd be like drinking poison and waiting for the ATF to die. It just makes no sense. And the fact of the matter is, on paper, I look like Pablo Escobar. There's just no getting around it. I look like the worst of the worst. So yeah, my sentence makes sense. So yeah, it does suck that this happened. I lost my business. I'm just permanently demonetized, so I'll probably never come back. I lost time with my family I'll never get back. I lost... I was a licensed machine gun manufacturer. That's gone. Now, because of this, I don't ever want to do anything with an LLC again. I mean, if I'm going to deal with ATF agents that would rather throw me under the bus and send me to prison than stand up for what's right and be like, hey, yes, I did approve that. I apologize if I gave him bad advice, reprimand me if you want, but I can't let an innocent man go to prison. But because I know that's not the case and they will definitely send you to prison, I want nothing to do with an FFL anymore. I will never probably get a tax stamp, because if I would have had a tax stamp, like some sort of NFA item, things would have went very differently. Because as soon as you get indicted for a federal charge, you are no longer allowed to have that NFA item. Therefore, that is a green light for them to just walk right into your door. there's a warrant granted. So best case scenario, if I would have had an NFA item, my door would have been kicked in and smashed. Things could have went way worse after that, but that's best case scenario. So that had changed me, and all this does suck. And yes, I'm upset about that. And I do plan to sue as soon as we win the appeal. But actual upset over the amount of time I got, on paper it makes sense. So no, I'm not angry about that anymore. And I do appreciate the engaging content, or comments. Because you guys got to help me get back into the swing of things. Because I've been out of it for so long. Your comments are helping. They truly are. Yes, I'm not replying to all of them because they come through so fast, but I am hearting them and letting you know that I am reading them. Now, so my advice to you, should you find yourself in this type of position: 1, learn federal guidelines. I got convicted not understanding them because I didn't care. I never took the time to even look into them because who cares? I'm going to win anyway. I never suspected to lose. So I'm convicted, and now I'm looking at, they were talking about me going to prison for 63 years. That was a punch to the gut. Learn your federal guidelines. Talk to a licensed lawyer. Immediately find out everything you can about your case, what he thinks about it. Understand, if you go to trial and you lose, they're going to hammer you. They offered me a plea deal, I think it was like a year or something like that, but I had to testify against Irvin. And at the end of the day, he was my customer. I wasn't his customer. We weren't co-conspirators. We weren't partners. He paid to put a commercial on my channel. He was my customer. So why would I testify against my customer? It wouldn't sit right for me on the inside. So that was one of the big reasons I had to go to trial. Plus, no matter what they offered, they kept felony on there. Like, you're never going to have guns again, dude. Sign here, just give up your guns, and then you'll only sit a year, and with programming that, you'll be home and under that. I couldn't do it. I had to go to trial. If they would have taken testifying off the table, and they would have taken felon for life off the table, yeah, I would have pled out. I would have been like, oh, alright, now pay me with a big-ass fine. I apologize. I'll never do it again. You know, whatever, at the end. But they've put me in a position where I had no choice but to go to trial. So that's why I went to trial. I kind of went off in the weeds and all this, but that's okay because you guys are subscribed here, and I do that all the time, so you must like it. I mean, there's got to be something you like about me just going off on random-ass topics. Anyways, another way you can support the channel if you don't want to purchase any merchandise is I have Amazon affiliate links in the description down below. Just by clicking on those links, even if you don't purchase what that particular link is for, just clicking on it and doing the Amazon shopping you were already going to do anyway, I had a little kickback because you came there off my channel. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.